Well, it's been a while, but good evening, WNBA and LA Sparks fans, and welcome into the LA Sparks 365 Network, your 24/7 365 comprehensive home of the WNBA and your two-time WNBA champion Los Angeles Sparks. Welcome in, folks, to the LA Sparks 365 Network. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks is too long, folks, for us to be here on the network, but we are thankful to be back here, folks. Now, as you guys may know, myself and Chris Woodmansey. Chris is probably not going to be able to join us tonight, folks. Chris was seeing some friends and family today in Anaheim and Dana Point, so he may not join us here tonight, folks, on the network, so you'll be stuck with me, Cal McClurg, here from Studio 171 in San Diego for the next half an hour to an hour here. We have another show coming up after this, perhaps. We'll see what happens, depending if Chris is home in time. If not, we will do this again sometime soon. Now, again, folks, reasons why we have not been here with you guys the past 2 weeks, as you guys may know, we also now are covering the brother franchise of the Sparks, the Los Angeles Lakers, now on the Lakers 365 Network. So we've been away doing their games and other things included, folks. So with that, we kind of do apologize, folks, for not being here for the past 2 weeks. It's not like us to not be here for 2 weeks. We do apologize, though, in advance for not letting guys know sooner rather than later about us not being on for the past 2 weeks. We apologize for that. Deeply sorry and deeply sorry and do apologize for that. But it kind of is what it is when we're working so hard on another network that we didn't forget about this one. We just knew that we got to get back with talking to Sparks here on the show. With that, folks, welcome into the show dedicated to the off season of WNBA basketball, folks. This is Sparkling Overseas, where we will take you, folks, all across the globe to see how your Los Angeles Sparks are doing during their off-season campaign and off-season commitments. At this point in time, folks, the first update here for you folks. As we know, Sparks players are off to a resounding start overseas as the players' respective teams have a combined record of 9-4 in the early goings of their international schedules, while 2 players are yet to participate. Sparks are already flying. With that, folks, there are currently eight Sparks players taking part in the overseas commitments, including Faria Abdi with Wisla Kanpak in Poland, Nikki Greensover playing with Ramat Hasharon in Harasharon, Israel, Sandrine Gruda, Candace Parker, and Christy Tolliver playing with UMMC Ekaterinburg in Ekaterinburg, Russia. Lindsay Harding's playing over in Turkey with Ederdin Spor. Also playing with Wisla Kanpak is Jantel Lavender over in Poland. And Neka Ogumake is playing with Dynamo Kursk over in Kursk, Russia. And, of course, Parker, Tolliver, and Gruda with Yemka UMMC Ekaterinburg. The latest updates we have for you folks go as follows. With Faria and Jantel with Wisla Kanpak in Poland, Wisla appears poised for a run to a second consecutive BLK title, and Abdi and Lavender have played major roles as part of the team's 4-0 start. Determined to make a leap going into her third WNBA season, Abdi came out of the gate red hot in BLK play. She averaged 20 points in 16 minutes per game over the first 2 contests, going 13 of 14, shooting 92.9% from the field. Lavender, who earned EuroLeague honors for Wisla last season, has averaged 18 points and 7.7 rebounds per game in her 3 appearances, including 16 points and a game-high 8 rebounds in her debut, which was an 81-41 win over Widzew on October 11th. Wisla has won all 4 games by an average margin of 30.8 points per game. Their next contest will be on November 2nd versus Ribbing. As far as it goes with Sandrine Gruda, Candace Parker, and Christy Tolliver playing with UMMC Ekaterinburg, with Parker and Tolliver yet to participate, Gruda has led the team in her October 21st debut with a 79-49 win over Annecy for UMMC's second of the early season. The forward and center Gruda scored 11 points and pulled down 7 rebounds in her return to the three-time defending Russian PBL title holders. This season marks her 8th with UMMC for the veteran, who also played for France in the FIBA World Championships in Turkey. Their next ball game was earlier this morning on October 29th versus Energy Ivano. We'll have more about that game later in the show. Also, on the international stage. Nneka Ogwumike is playing with Dynamo Kursk in Russia. Ogwumike has had a pretty busy 2 months since the conclusion of the WNBA season, after spending much of September and the beginning of October helping the U.S. women's national team capture gold in the FIBA World Championships in Turkey. She has found herself in Russia. Ogwumike and Dynamo are off to a 3-0 start with an average margin of 28.7 points per game. After totaling 10, 7, and 4 in 16 minutes off the bench in the team's opening win versus Energy Ivanovo on October 18th, Ogwumike exploded for her first double-digit double-double with game highs of 10 and 20, of 20 and 10, and a 76-52 victory over Cvetica. In addition to her on-court successes, Ogwumike and her sister Shanae have now started a YouTube channel which details their overseas adventures every Tuesday at youtube.com/user/Team Ogwumike. Kursk's next game will be on November 2nd versus Nottinghasa Orenburg on the 2nd. Nikki Green is over playing with Ratmat Harrison over in Israel. Though Roman is off to a 0-2 start early, Green has already been showing signs of improvement in her first season in Israel. In the team's first game, which was a 79-58 loss to arch rival Maccabi Ashdod on October 20th, the foreign center contributed 5 points and 5 points and 5 rebounds in 29 minutes played in a starting role. 1 week later, Ramat fell 91-74 to Ramla, though Green grabbed a team-high 10 rebounds to go along with 11 points for her first double-double of the 2014-15 season. Their next game will be on November 3rd versus Netanya. And finally, Lindsay Harding over with Edirne Spor in Turkey, a pivotal bench piece for the Sparks this past season. Harding has been all over the court for Spur in Turkish Cup plays, if you mean to say, thus far. In a 70-52 loss to Abdul Gold University back on the 23rd of October, the guard poured in 26 points and added 5 rebounds and 3 assists in 38 minutes played. Following a 76 loss to Ada Asik on October 24th, Spor responded with a 66-60 victory over Besiktas on October 25th to wrap up a stretch of 3 games in 3 days. And Harding has averaged over 40 minutes played in all 3 games. At this time, their next game was also today versus Adana Asik once more. And if you are wondering about Candace Parker, and if you're wondering about Ekaterinburg, they won today's game versus Energia Ivanovo 82-54. Their next game, as we said, will be on Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time against Dynamo GUVD in ECAT. Well, with that, guys and folks, it's one deal, though, that these players have success overseas, but at the same time, the folks like Chris and I said, though, earlier on during the offseason was you got to bring that overseas play back to Los Angeles. You can't afford to play so well during the offseason, come back to LA and look like crap, basically. And that's not a knock on anyone of you folks. But it seems like, though, that sometimes you play better when you're not in a normal zone, I guess. And with that, I mean, to see that these 8 players have led their teams to a 9-4 start is pretty amazing. Now, again, folks, no Parker and Tolliver yet for Ekaterinburg. I'm not too worried about that because Ekat does have Diana Taurasi and a few other players that we know very well playing over there. As far as everyone goes, folks, let's just go in order again with Wisla Campak, with Faria and Jantel. I think that this is going to be Faria's make-or-break season with the Sparks. I think if, in fact, she plays or has a training camp like her overseas play, she'll be back on the bench and could be perhaps coming off the bench next season, because the numbers, folks, I believe speak volumes for how well she's played through the first 3 games or the first 4 games for Wisla Campak. I mean, averaging 20 points in about 16 minutes played over the first 2 games, 13 of 14 shooting from the field. I mean, that is, pretty, considering it's going to be a third-year player, and she really hasn't had that fair shake of the hand yet to play with the Sparks just yet. That play, that stat line, at least to me says they will give her a shot, which is the only good thing about this right now is, with Abdi coming in, they'll give her a shot during training camp, so we'll see what occurs out of it here at this point in time. So we'll see what occurs out of it here. Again, with Abdi playing very well, then, of course, there is Jantel Lavender, too, who, again, took home all EuroLeague, took all league honors last year. 18 points per game is good for what she's doing, including 16 a game high, 8 rebounds. I mean, with Wisla, I think that they're going to be set for a while because that team is pretty loaded, at least what I recall, at least. But again, with Abdi and Lavender playing well, I mean, this is going to be this is I think a good stepping stone for the Sparks right now. Is that right now at this point in time, you've got a few great. You have Abdi playing well, and of course Jantel Lavender, who also last season played her tail off too when she got the starting job as the center last year. Played very, very well down the stretch. Had a lot of great games. So Abdi playing well, folks. I think it's more so it's a talking point with Faria is again it's a it's a late round draft pick you got. Rookie season didn't play too much. Second year, hit and miss a little bit. Played a couple games last season, but at the same time, the numbers right now are speaking volumes. Now it's a matter. Now again, folks, it's a matter though of can you bring this play back over to the States in a few months for training camp? Now I think that right now that is possible for these players to bring it back overseas. But again, we'll see what happens. Now again, folks, with Ekaterinburg right now with Sandrine Gruda and Candace Parker and Christy Tolliver. KT is right, and folks, in case you're wondering, Christy Tolliver is taking the place of Sue Bird, who has stopped her overseas play because of her age. Again, no Parker and Tolliver yet. Now, I think, folks, Parker is taking more time here to let her injury heal. Now, as you folks know, I interviewed Candace back last month. She told me beforehand that the knee was getting better, but again, the rehab was still going through rehab. And again, Candace, folks, is in Russia. She has made it to Ekaterinburg, but again, yet to play in a couple of games right now because again, don't want to risk having further injury during the off season where it's going to affect her play come the regular season and on the turn of the calendar next year. With Tolliver not playing too, probably because KT has been all around the country and the world, basically, folks. I mean, how she came back from Russia, from Dynamo last year at Media Day, left midseason for Slovakia, came back, left again, came back, a lot of constant travel. I think head coach Olaf Ling is going to ease Parker and Tolliver into the starting mix. But again, you got Deanna Nolan, you've got Diana Taurasi, you've got other players in that mix for Ekaterinburg. They should be probably on top of the league again once more. But again, Gruda, Parker, and Tolliver right now playing for Ekaterinburg. And again, no Candace and no Christy yet. Injury or perhaps travel fatigue. Now with Nneka Ogwumike, folks, again, Nneka made the move from China to Russia this year. She was playing with China last year. Made the move to Dynamo Kursk this year. And Dynamo has been playing fairly solid basketball as of late. And again, with Nneka, she did not miss a beat last year in her third season in the league. I mean, her third year was really solid. Could have probably taken home team MVP honors because she was certainly worthy. Missed one game because of her back problem early in the year, but again, came back strong and played so well. And also, too, I mean, her play as well during the season for the Sparks was right on point. When Candace Parker went down, she was right there to fill the void and basically pick up where Candace left off with her play. Went off against Tulsa in that game that they lost, and she had 35 that night. But across the board, though, with her playing now in Russia, that will give her a chance to play more against Candace and Sandrine and Christy more than they would in practice. And again, with Nneka playing with Dynamo Kursk, I mean, that's going to be a very tough team to face over in the Euro League as well at this point in time. Then with Nikki Green, folks, again, who saw maybe a few minutes of play last year. She's over playing with Ratmit Hasharon over in Israel. And again, Ratmit off to a rough start, yeah, but it's more so here that we talk about the player more so here than the team right now, that Nikki Green, again, folks, like Faria Abdi, did not get the chance at all last year to really show what she's made of because, again, they did not really play her too much because, folks, it's that rookie you bring in either during camp or during the draft and you say, look, you're going to be on a team. You won't play too long. We're going to let you grow and develop, folks. And that's basically all it is with Nikki Green, folks. But again, in spite of Ratmit being off to an 0-2 start, Nikki's played well. Okay, 5 points, maybe, okay, 16 combined points. But, folks, I mean, the points are one deal, folks. But, again, it's also your rebounding. And, folks, Nikki Green, again, a tall body at 6'4". She, rebounding-wise, has put on a clinic so far in her first 2 games with Ratman. I mean, 5 rebounds in game 1, 10 for a team high the last game. So 15 rebounds and 16 points so far for a player that played maybe a couple of games last year. At this point in time is very, very awesome at this point in time. In case anyone's wondering, Cal McClure joining you folks here from Studio 171 in San Diego, California. It's where we're joining you folks from here on the LA Sparks 365 Network. And then now, folks, Lindsey Harding is the last player we're going to talk about here on the international stage, folks, again. But again, with Lindsey last year, sort of that one bad year. And again, every team and every player has one bad year. And last year, it just looked like Lindsey a bit discombobulated, I think. I think last year was a rough go for her shooting the ball last year, and her drives and penetrations weren't all that great last year. But now this is where she took the overseas season off last year, which I think may have been maybe not the wisest move for her to do, because, again, she was in shape. She had played a great overseas season in 2012 before she came to Los Angeles from Atlanta. And then this year she's back over there and playing. She's averaging between 38 to 40 minutes per game 38 to 40 minutes played is a lot. And also, as we know, that the Sparks brought her off the bench during the season last year towards the tail end of the year because she had struggled a lot and she was probably frustrated with herself. This is sort of her chance to sort of redeem herself, I think. I think this is the point in time where Lindsey, works those kinks out, gets all of the gets that rough year out of her head and out of her body. That it was a bad season, yes, but at the same time, this is where you use that off season to get back in the flow of things. And again, Lindsey Harding with Edreenspor in Turkey again, playing very well, folks. 26 points and 5 rebounds, 3 assists her first game. Then her second game played with them. Also fairly well again, and again, averaging over 40 minutes per game. So with that, folks, all 8 Sparks, Faria Abdi, Nikki Green, Sandrine Gruda, Lindsey Harding, Jantel Lavender, Nneka Ogwumike, CP3, Candace Parker, and Christy Tolliver have led their respective overseas clubs to a combined record of 9-4 through the early goings of their international schedules. Now, folks, it is tough right now to it is tough, folks, to keep track of the schedules here. So with that, folks, we're going to try our best to pull up the schedules for you folks, for everybody out there. Now, again, it's going to be tough to do so because the team websites, of course, are in their regular are in the home country's languages, so it might be tough to follow here, folks. Now, what we can tell you, folks, again, is the upcoming games go as follows here for the clubs here. Faria and Jantel's next game will be on November 2nd versus Ribnik. Gruda, Parker, and Tolliver with the Kattenberg played this morning versus Energy Ivanovo and won the game tonight, or this morning, on the road. Nneka and Dynamo Kursk will play on Sunday versus Nadaza Orenburg. Nikki Green and Ramen will play again on Monday versus Natea. And Lindsey Harding also played this morning versus Adana Aska over there in the Russian, over there in the Turkish Pro League of women's basketball. So again, folks, we will bring you folks this show when the Sparks do update the website on a night-to-night basis or a week-to-week basis about the team going forward. So again, folks, to find out more about the Sparks' overseas journeys, again, you guys can log on to lasparks.com and you can log on to lasparks.com/sparklingoverseas to check out the postings and the updates on your favorite Sparks players as they go and travel around the world to play those games. Now, with that, folks, unfortunately, folks, again, folks, Chris Romancy is off tonight. Chris was actually out today. He was hanging out with a few friends and family today in the Orange County area today, so Chris will not join us tonight. With that, folks, we would like to remind you folks that even though the Sparks season is ended, you can, of course, stay connected with your Sparks on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and in your email inbox. Find the Sparks on Facebook at facebook.com/LA Sparks. Follow the Sparks on Twitter at LA_Sparks. Follow the Sparks on Instagram at LA_Sparks on Pinterest, and also on youtube.com/user/the Los Angeles Sparks. And also sign up today for the LA Sparks Beyond the Arc email inbox for the LA Sparks email newsletter. So again, you guys can stay connected with your Sparks again on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and in your email inbox. And also, folks, it's not too early or too late. But again, folks, it's time to ignite your inner spark and get your 2015 Sparks regular season tickets. They have gone on sale, folks. To find out more about getting Sparks season tickets, log on to lasparks.com/tickets or call 877-44-SPARKS, 877-44-SPARKS. Season tickets for the 2014-15 or for the 2015 campaign start as low as $192. So get your tickets now. Again, either on lasparks.com or by calling 877-44-SPARKS, 877-44-SPARKS. And also, folks, new for next season is the 2015 Sparks Family Pack. If you're looking to spend a night out with your family, the Los Angeles Sparks Family 4-packs are on sale now for any regular season Sparks home game. The Family 4-packs include 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and 1 large popcorn. All that and more for only $99 to log on to get your Sparks Family 4-pack for next season. Again, log on to lasparks.com or call 877-44-SPARKS, 877-44-SPARKS. And also, folks, as you guys may have saw perhaps on Facebook and Twitter perhaps, but yes, Callum McClurg, myself, did have a cameo appearance in the new Sparks fan experience video, folks. To find out more about Sparks fan experiences, which include post-game autographs, which you guys saw me at. You guys can find out more also. You guys can also find out more about Sparks fan experiences again by logging on to lasparks.com. Now, with that, folks, before we do cut out of here for the night, folks, we're going to be telling you guys a very, very awesome story right now at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen. Is a phenomenal job here, folks, that is going to be done here. Is what you folks have probably seen from all the WNBA players, fans, and teams, folks, is this great movement in hashtag, which is one more for Lauryn, folks. If you've not heard the story here, ladies and gentlemen, Lauryn Hill committed to Mount St. Joseph's College to play basketball on her 18th birthday. Less than 2 months later, she learned that she had a brain disease called DIPG, which would kill her in less than 2 years. Last month, an MRI revealed that her tumor had grown and that she probably would not make it to the end of the year. Lauryn's goal became to play one last game. The game is scheduled on November 2nd, and if all goes well, Lauryn will have a chance to realize her dream and take the floor wearing her number 22 jersey in front of a sold-out crowd. Inspired by Lauryn's courage and the love for the game, WNBA players have committed to honor Lauryn, her last game, and raising funds and awareness around DIPG by making donations and dedicating their next games to her. Please using the hashtag One More for Lauryn. They invite you to join in the movement to carry on Lauryn's legacy by creating your own hashtag One More for Lauryn post. Sharing them on social media and making a donation to The Cure Starts Now, a leading charity in the work to find a cure for DIPG. Together, we can find a cure for DIPG and celebrate Lauryn, her love of basketball, and her fighting spirit in a way that endures. Folks, this has been phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's one deal, folks, that we rally around everybody. And folks, as we say a lot on the petition show about how all the fans, all you great WNBA aficionados rallied around the Sparks petition, folks, this is something that everybody, whether you're a WNBA fan or not, you can rally around this movement, ladies and gentlemen. And it has been phenomenal to see the tremendous outpouring of love, respect, and support for Lauryn Hill, ladies and gentlemen. It has been very, very emotional, folks, to actually talk about this, too, is we're talking about, folks, an athlete that wants to realize their dream, and folks, and maybe 2 years from now, she'll be gone. It's very emotionally tough to sit here right now and talk about this, folks. And the movement has been unfreaking believable, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Liberty I mean, I'm seeing screenshots, folks, of videos posted by everybody. What we have here, folks, is the New York Liberty, soccer great Mia Hamm, current Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon. Who else we have here, folks? Diana Taurasi, Seattle Seahawks defensive player Richard Sherman, Kyle Singler, Elena Deladon. So many phenomenal people have come forward, folks, to just help raise awareness about this young lady's very emotional and very, very touching story. Also, folks, involved is the Indiana Fever, the Arizona State Sun Devils women's basketball team, Tamika Catchings, the LA Sparks, the Dream, the U.S. women's national soccer team, and the U.S. women's basketball team. It has been really, really phenomenal, folks, to just see the tremendous outpouring of support from everybody. Also here, folks, is Kia Vaughn, Danielle Robinson, Gary Blair, Teresa Witherspoon. So many phenomenal people, folks, have come forward and have given their gratitude and their sincere appreciation, their love and respect to this, right now, folks, very sick athlete. Also, folks, is Cappy Pondexter, Shanae Agumake, Marissa Coleman, Kayla McBride. I have also come forward, folks, about this with Lauryn Hill, ladies and gentlemen. And again, if you folks want to get involved here, folks, you guys can send in a video or post the picture of the number of her number 22, folks, on across social media, folks, and use the hashtag one more for Lauren, folks. And a quick deal, folks, is this Saturday I begin working with the San Diego Sockers again, folks, and the Sockers have already retired the number 22 for a phenomenal player named Julie V. But ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday, when I look up to the rafters at the Valley View Casino Center, folks, and see that number 22, I won't be thinking about Julie V, folks. I'll be thinking wholeheartedly about Lauryn Hill. And it's tough to talk about, folks, again, because it is just so depressing, folks, that a person like this strikes chords with everybody. You know, and again, you don't have to be a WNBA or women's basketball fan to appreciate this movement being done by the women's basketball community. And again, folks, you know, I recall when I interviewed Candace Wiggins a few weeks ago, folks, and I asked her about, you know, when she heard about Tony Gwynn's passing, because her and her father, Tony Gwynn and her father, Alan Wiggins, were former teammates on the San Diego Padres back in '84. She said without her, and she said it's very tough for her to talk about her dad's passing and Tony Gwynn's passing without her getting choked up and a very, very emotional. And folks, you don't have to know this person or anyone to not feel sad and depressed about this movement, folks. And again, it's sort of a dream come true, I guess you can say, for Lauryn Hill, folks. And again, we advise everybody out there, whether you're a fan, folks, of the league or not, we invite everybody to please either change your profile picture on social media or post a photo on Instagram. And please, folks, use the hashtag one more for Lauren, because, folks, it's again, one more time, folks, but again, it is a battle cry. Any fan of any sport can rally around and get behind the movement, folks. And again, we're not asking you to, you know, become a fan of a sport, folks, if you don't want to be. But again, it's just bringing the awareness, folks, to this. And again, it's been kind of tough to talk about this, folks, because again, without me or without anyone getting very, very emotional with this is, again, folks, diseases touch us in very different ways, whether it's cancer, it's AIDS, it's HIV, or it's breast cancer, folks. Diseases like this, like DIPG, unite us as one. And my last word here, folks, again, is the outpouring of support from the WNBA players to male professional athletes to all the teams, folks, to everybody out there to do this for Lauryn Hill is very, very awesome. And it's very, very tremendously fantastic to see the outpouring of support from the sporting community, folks. And again, To find out more, folks, about this again, or to help out the cause, folks, again, change your profile photos or post the photo on Instagram. And please use the hashtag, the number 1 more with the number 4, Lauren. Again, the hashtag is 1 more for Lauren. With that, folks, we will see you folks sometime soon, hopefully. But again, folks, we'll be back on the Lakers Network tomorrow night and Saturday. With that, folks, till sometime soon, have a safe night. Drive home safely. Thank you all for coming, and good night. Now, this has been the LA Sparks 365 Network. We are Sparks. We are LA. And we are the WNBA. See you folks sometime in the future. Bye-bye.